The battery... Oh, never mind, it's green. What's up, everyone? So it'll probably change a little bit more, but yeah, that's more or less what it was going to look like. Configuring trophy data. Okay, so I'll just get it to stay in the menu so that you can configure everything. Yeah, so while we're setting up, as the announcer said, this is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix. High Definition is the full title. Everyone just calls it Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep or BBS. I'm running Terra level 1 crit. And yeah, it should be a good time, hopefully. There we go. That's what it's gonna look like. Alright. I'll get to the screen that we start timing from. So recently it was changed to where timing is started from character select. It never used to be timed from character select, but it is now. So because of that, the run on the timer is about 30-ish seconds shorter, but everything you do is exactly the same. Just a fun little tidbit. Alright, so you all ready to start? 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so to start off with, we have orbs. Orbs are more or less the same in every category and every character's run. Basically, you want to try to hit the orbs into each other, and they'll detonate. But other than that, it's just trying to make sure they don't fly across the room. Oh yeah, unfortunately this game does have cutscene skips, unlike the original Kingdom Hearts 1, for instance. So again, the main goal is to hit the orbs into each other. They will immediately blow up if you do that, but it's not easy to do, so... And the way the orbs move is RNG, like their patterns. I'm not in control of that at all. Then hit it to the side there, so I couldn't snipe it properly. But what your party members do is also random, so there's a lot that can determine this, but fortunately it's fairly short, so it doesn't really matter too much. Especially not in a marathon setting.
So long!
Okay, that's all done. Yeah, split. So, after all of these cutscene skips and similar, I'm going to be going into the menu to turn on an ability called EXP0, which is going to keep me at level 1 for the rest of the game. And unlike other Kingdom Hearts games, like Kingdom Hearts 2, we do the run on level 1 not only because it offers a greater challenge, but also because, given how level 1 works in this game, it's actually faster to do at level 1 than to do at crit not on level 1. Because the ability EXP0 is in of itself somewhat broken. Terra, the character I'm playing as, has the least ability to exploit how broken it is. So as a result of that, this category can be very demanding and very challenging at times, which is probably why I love it so much, to be honest. I always loved a challenge in my my video games. Terra is also the only character where we do the menu to put on EXP0 in the world map. So now we're heading into an unversed fight, or a forced fight, as people call it. The primary enemies in this game are called unversed, not shadows like in the main games. And these fights are really just about killing them as fast as possible. However, this first one, I'm trying to get certain drops called D-Link drops, or D-Link levels, and that will essentially speed up the rest of the run. So the way the game explains D-Links is, I think it's dimensional links that it stands for, and it's like a connection between your friends through space or something like that. I don't know, Kingdom Hearts storyline stuff. But just there, I got the drop that I wanted from the very first enemy, so that's incredibly good luck. And if I get really lucky, I can get another drop for another D-Link, and then we're set for RNG for the whole run. And there we go, there's the other drop I was talking about. Excellent. So you'll notice I'm going in and out of the D-Link here. The reason for that is because if I get really lucky, I could get another drop to this character, but I can't do that if I don't exit out of the D-Link first. I don't know why that is, it's just how this game works. Alright, well, I can't actually stay in Aqua D-Link, because if I do, what's going to happen is I'm not going to have D-Link meter for the boss fight coming up, so I'm going to have to grind for it, and that's obviously slow. So I didn't get perfect RNG, but I got well and truly acceptable, above average RNG. Which, for those who don't know speedrun terminology, RNG stands for random number generation, essentially just meaning luck. And I got very good luck there. Not exceptional, but above average. Well and truly above average. So you'll notice that I am sliding around a lot. Essentially in this game, all of the characters start off with their equivalent of Sora's dodge roll, if you remember the dodge roll in Kingdom Hearts 1. And that is a command, as with other commands in this game, that will level up. Terra's is slide, and it works differently to the other two characters' dodge abilities, whereas Ven and Aqua both have things that function similarly to dodge roll. And timing inputs to chain together the dodge abilities in a specific way is the fastest form of movement, with the exception of sliding dash. But once Terra's dodge levels up fully, unlike the other characters, his is actually faster than sliding dash. And that command there is sliding dash. So, I mean, movement isn't the focus of this game by any means, but it is nice to know, I guess, that there is some level of optimization there, and it's not all just in the fights. So another thing you'll notice is that I've been picking up a lot of chests throughout the run. I need those for money, basically. I need to get as many things as I can without wasting too much time so that I can sell them all later and get the things that I need later in the run. So I will be going out of my way a little bit to pick things up. So coming up we have the first boss, Wheelmaster. Wheelmaster is arguably one of the hardest bosses in the run. I've spent countless hours practicing this fight and perfecting my strategy for it. Hopefully it's all gonna pay off, but we'll just see how it goes. Effectively, the D-Link drop that I got before plays a big part in it. I'm going to be going into Ventus's D-Link, and he has an ability that he gets when he levels up once called Haste. And what Haste does is it makes me attack fast. So the idea is I need to get to those finishes as quickly as possible, because that's where all of my damage is coming from. Good fight so far. Okay, that was pretty good. So, another thing about that fight that you may or may not have noticed is that even though it was the first boss of the game, my health got pretty low pretty quickly. One of the parts of the strategy to that fight, I suppose, is knowing exactly how much damage you can get away with taking and tanking hits in appropriate places. Because if you take a hit of damage somewhere that you are not supposed to, I guess you could say, it can really throw everything off. But then on the other hand, if you stop attacking him and don't tank hits in certain places, it can make the fight harder because of how his patterns work. So it's, I guess, a tight squeeze between not dying and killing him fast enough that he doesn't do really annoying stuff that will make you die. Coming up, we have a bit more movement tech, although this particular movement tech only works in this room. It's a shotlock command, and it just so happens that Terra starts off with a shotlock that is a dive rather than actual shots. So I'm going to lock onto that pot, and now I'm up here. And then I'm going to lock onto another pot, and now I'm over there. I can only do that twice in the entire run, in that room on the way through, and then on the way back. I never get to use that ability for movement again, which is really unfortunate. The only reason it works there is because the pots are always spawned in, whereas enemies, which you could also lock onto, only spawn in when you get close to them. So it's the fact that the pots are already there where you want to be moving to. And in other areas, there are no objects like that, so you would have to lock onto enemies, and in order for the enemies to be there, you have to be close to where you want it to be anyway. So it doesn't allow you to fly across the rooms like that. And then in this room that I was just in, the pods are there, but they're not really in any convenient places that would actually speed things up. So, another thing to note about sliding dash is it assumes you're on the ground at all times. So, we can kind of just get up there way earlier than we were supposed to get that command, Fission Faraga, which is very useful in a boss fight later on. So here I'm selling a lot of the things that I've been picking up. And then I need to buy a blizzard and a poison. So this coming unversed fight is the main reason why I wanted to get the D-Link level up for Aqua, which is the second level up that I got in that first forced fight. Basically, at her first level, she unlocks the Magnera command, and Magnera, or any form of magnet, makes this fight 10 times easier than it would be otherwise. And that's the only way we can get that command by this point. So it also makes it a lot faster, but the decrease in difficulty is very appreciated.
Thunder. So long. Gather. Thunder.
So here it looks like I can get my Aqua D-Link to level 2, which is really nice.
Thunder. Want some?
The finisher is kind of slow, but it's still useful.
Gather. Want some? Thunder.
And Mind Square is also incredibly powerful. So that was a pretty good force fight. Coming up, we have Magic Mirror, one of the few bosses that is actually shared in multiple characters' stories. Magic Mirror is in Terra and Aqua, I believe, but he is not in Ven's story. And Aqua breaks that fight like she breaks the rest of the game. She is by far the most overpowered character in level 1. But Terra doesn't have that option, so we have to kill him with commands. just slowly chip away at it. Then coming up, I get to do that amazing movement where I fly across the room again, and then I'll be saying goodbye to that shot lock command. Oh, I locked onto the wrong pot. That's fine. Not a huge deal slower. So here I'm killing this thing just because it drops money, and again, money is very important in this run. Might as well use the finisher on him for more money while he's there. Not going to lose any time doing it. Unlike the other characters, Terra's money route is incredibly tight, so I need all of the money that I can easily access. So the way Magic Mirror works is he has 4 different attacks that he can use, and he will use one of 2, then one of the other 2, and then the other of the first 2 in that sort of pattern. And in between each, I have a chance to hit him. He has a certain hit count before he'll get knocked over, and then he'll get up and do an attack again. So depending on what attacks he does kind of determines the speed of the fight, because some attacks are much faster than others on his end. Oh, I had the wrong command highlighted. Whoops. So this is good RNG. I want to see this. Unless that happens. So that was good RNG until I pressed continue. No. That was good RNG until I messed up. So the continue button is very annoying. That's pretty much all I have to say. There is a retry button which will put you straight back into the boss fight, but the thing is the continue button is above it, and the continue button takes you outside. It's really easy to accidentally hit continue and end up losing time having to redo things, because this game drops a lot of inputs in menus. The menuing isn't smooth at all. So that was a small mistake on my part, but it doesn't lose too much time, so I'm not too worried about it. So hopefully we'll get the same pattern again, because that was more or less the best thing he could have done first. I just reacted to it badly. But I'm not going to get my hopes up.
Fire! Want some? You're done.
Okay, I got the same pattern again. Nice. So that's how that should have looked.
Take that. Fire! Say goodbye.
Okay, that is not the best. I would have preferred the other pattern that he could have done after that. For 2 reasons. The first reason is that it's really easy to die there if you don't time the jump correctly. And the second reason is because that pattern is slower. This fight is relatively easy once you get the hang of it, but I guess I'm just not having a good day today. Everything can and will kill you in this run if you mess it up. So we'll get him this time though. Okay, again, not what I want to see, but it's fine. There we go. That was how that should have looked last time.
Want some? Fire! Take that. Say goodbye.
Okay, good RNG, that's fine. As long as he doesn't do the other attack he could have done there, I'm okay with it.
Want some?
And he should die here.
Fire!
So I finally stopped messing up. Okay, so I lost a couple of minutes there to deaths, but I'm not too concerned. My estimate was lenient to cater to the fact that it's really easy to die in this run. And if anything, I would rather die to the easy fights than the hard fights, because the hard fights look a lot more impressive when you first try them. So I'd rather get the deaths out of the way early. So I have to revisit the world here, because after you beat a boss, the shop levels up, and I need to do some shopping. Gotta get some new shoes. Get them Yeezys. And a new pair of parachute pants while we're at it. Terras are starting to look old and worn. So the good news is I am more than good on money for the moment. I have plenty to spare to buy the things that I need to buy, so that's always good. Now we're going into Castle of Dreams. Castle of Dreams was intended to be the second level you did, but it works out faster to do Dwarf Woodlands before it in this category. In Castle of Dreams, we first off have another unversed fight, and then after that we are going to have Terra's escort mission. Terra has by far the easiest escort mission of the three characters, unlike just about everything else that he has the harder version of. But it's still annoying. Escort missions suck. Anybody who has played a video game knows that escort missions suck. Escort missions suck.
Thunder.
I can't even speak today.
Freeze. Gather.
But it's not too bad in this case, so...
So long.
Ooh, I got a Wellspring Crystal drop. That's good RNG. Happy with that.
Gather. Thunder.
So a bit more collecting, and then we go into the escort I was talking about. There's a fairly long movement section here with not too much to mention. So if we have donations, or if the announcer over here wants to plug anything, feel free. You have a bit of time.
Yeah, so we got some downtime. This is PAX Aus, and we have the Australian speedrunning marathon. Oh, sorry guys.
I guess I shouldn't have given you downtime, jeez.
It's not my fault, I promise. That is not nice. I try. So, we have the Australian speedrunners this year, and we are doing a marathon for charity. Child's Play is the charity of choice for PAX Australia, and at the moment we're doing some donation incentives for the Kingdom Hearts run that is on later, the Kingdom Hearts 2 full mix run, which is a Terra level 1 critical run as well. If we meet that donation incentive, we're also having a challenge between one of our speedrunners and one of our enforcers of which can draw Sora better. So if you look at our whiteboard over here on your right, on the left is a Sora drawn by one of our speedrunners, and on the right is a Sora drawn by one of our enforcers. Donate with your wallets. All of the money goes towards Child's Play. Child's Play is a charity that looks after sick kids, brings them games, and generally tries to improve their quality of life.
Yeah, so basically the idea here is that if there are unversed in front of Cinderella, she will not move. And then if there are no unversed in her way, she will either run or walk. Whether she runs or walks is random, completely out of my control, but all I want to do is make sure there are no enemies in her way so that she is constantly moving. And that can sometimes be a lot easier said than done. It depends on what the enemies decide to do. Like here, I kind of want them to all run into the magnet, which they didn't do. But it's fine.
Gather. Gather. Thunder. Yeah. So long.
As long as that that larger unburst doesn't come near me again, we should be okay.
Gather. Thunder.
And again, I am taking time to pick up money here because Cinderella's movement is auto-scrolly to begin with, so as long as she's still moving, it doesn't matter if I'm a little slow.
Thunder.
And I'm killing this guy up here for that exact same reason, because she's still moving, so I have time. And then I'm going to intentionally spawn in some enemies after she gets past them so that they die in this animation at the end of the escort, which gives me a chance to get drops. And it sounds like I did get drops there. That's good. So I say it sounds like there's a kind of dinging noise or like a ching or something that you hear, and the number of times you hear that is one happens automatically for you finishing the escort, and then after that the sound will repeat itself for every drop you get. So rather than actually seeing that I got drops there, I heard the noise, and that tells me that I got them. Now we have Symphony Master coming up. He is more or less the same as Wheelmaster, who was the first boss, except much easier and much less in my control. It can go wrong, and if it does, it probably isn't my fault, but most of the time, like 9 times out of 10, if not more, the fight is really, really easy. All I have to do is mash. So let's hope this is one of these times. But essentially, the instruments floating around him can attack you, and depending on when they attack you and which instruments, it can really mess with the fight. So what we want to see is the instruments not attacking me at all. Or if they do, doing it like that violin just did when I'm in the middle of a finisher and thus have invulnerability frames, i.e. I can't take damage. And not like that drum just did. That's fine though. That was a okay time for it to go wrong. Easy. So now we have some menuing, and this is the first time that you're going to really see the command system of this game, like, fully at work. You've seen how I have commands in the bottom left, and I press triangle to use them, which I guess you wouldn't have seen that part, but then they recharge rather than me having a set mana bar or anything like that in other games. But here I'm going to be doing what we call melding, which is where you fuse multiple commands together to make new commands. And in the said melds, I will also be using crystals, which will give the commands additional effects. So one of those that I'm going to be going for is called Magic Haste, which speeds up the rate at which magical commands recharge, as an example. No, not Magnet Thunder. There we go. What do we have? Oh, I don't have any fleetings. I thought I would. So because I don't have any fleeting crystals, I'm just going to do that magnet meld. And I'm going to save the other melds for later on. Just an example or a case of me reacting to the situation at hand, which there is a lot of that in this game. It's all about knowing what you should do given the luck that you have, basically. And another thing to note, some people who might be interested in playing the game themselves or some other speedrunners who might be interested in picking up the game or anything along those lines, don't be intimidated by the fact that I'm sitting here remembering exactly what I should be doing in all of these menus. I did a lot of the routing for this category, and I've worked on optimizing it all myself. So it's kind of second nature to me. I'm very intimate with the run, and I understand the game incredibly well. So as much as I also have most of the things that I need memorized, like off by heart, I also kind of can replicate what I need off the top of my head because I know why I need it, if that makes sense. But here we have a lot of cutscene skips, so if you want to plug things again or if you have donations, go ahead. If you don't, whatever.
The answer is whatever. The answer is whatever.
That's
we've had a
unfortunate.
bunch of donations come in via physical for our
Yeah.
little competition over there, which is nice.
That is always good. So how much do you have to donate to vote for your favorite character?
Well, you don't have. You can donate anything you like. We had a bid war yesterday.
So it's a bid war rather than a voting system.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had a bid war yesterday that went insane for a bit, and unfortunately, Waluigi won out with that one.
What was the other option?
It was between Waluigi and DK for Mario Kart 8.
That's a tough one.
Both of them are just so bad.
So here we have another unversed fight. Again, we're going to be going into Aqua D-Link and using her Magnet Command and Finisher and Thundara. Pretty standard stuff. Generally, in unversed fights, the strategy is to use Magnet and Thunder in some aspect. That's kind of what it gets broken down to.
Gather. Thunder. Gather. So long. Gather. Thunder. Take that. So long. Gather. Take that. So long. Take that. Gather. Thunder.
That was a little bit sloppy, but I didn't die, so all good. So now we're going to be picking up my favorite command in the game, by far, Thunder Surge. And if you stick around till the end of the run, you'll see why it's my favorite command in the game, I guess. It's a really, really useful command, but we won't really be using it for a while, not properly at least. But we get that for free in a chest, and we will be buying more later as well, but there's no point buying one more than you have to when it's in a chest in the game, just sitting there.
Thank you very much for your donation, my good friend.
Yeah, thanks, pal. So here I'm gonna kill a couple of extra unversed for the chance at getting fleeting crystals and for money. Fleeting crystals are something that I want for melds. I don't need them, but I want them.
Gather. Thunder. Thunder. Thunder.
And I don't get any. Oh well. That is perfectly fine. It's just going to slow things down a little bit later on. Alright. That's a relatively long menu, so I kind of need to concentrate on what I'm doing for it. The shorter menus are easy to talk while I'm doing, but for longer menus, it's really easy to lose track of where you are. So there I just picked up Asuna, which I'm going to need for a meld later on to make something called Renewal Guard, which I will talk about as I get it, but it's a very useful thing to have. And then that blackout chest was for money. Money, 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 money. We out here hustling.
Just to let everyone know, we are $4 away.
So, if I could,
$4 away from our donation incentive.
Okay. So, I've just been told we're $4 away from our donation incentive, so feel free to try and make sure we hit that. But, coming up here, we have, Trinity Armor, which is the only fight in the game besides orbs at the start that all 3 characters have to do. So, this character is by far the easiest for Aqua, which is no surprise because Aqua is overpowered. But, it's actually easier for Terra than it is for Ven, which is unusual. And the reason for that is because we have Firestorm. Firestorm, well, I'll let it speak for itself. It does a lot of damage. But it's kind of one of the few commands or command styles we get to go into as Terra that are actually good in level 1. So it's a very good... Oh, no. So that was something completely out of my control. In between his phases, he can do something we call Invisilaser, where he shoots an invisible laser at you. And it just so happens that it is enough to kill me in one hit. So I got very unlucky there. Most of the time that doesn't happen, but... I'm glad that happened in a marathon. That's great. That's actually great. Yeah. That's how it goes, eh? I got Invisilated again! Oh, I'm sorry. That's great. I'm really sorry, but that's excellent. I got Invisilated again, but this time I healed, so it didn't matter. I should have thought of that before. So I just got Invisilated 3 times back to back. That's incredible. That happens maybe 1 in 10 fights. And I just got 3 back to back. Excellent stuff. Oh, Ven just got Invisilated by the sounds of... Oh wait, no, he just got hit by the big laser. Never mind, I'm dumb.
Thunder. Freeze.
This is not gonna end here, is it? Okay. So I'm having to play it slow and safe here, because if I die at this point in the fight, it loses a lot of time. I forgot that that pattern was coming up next, because I haven't seen this late into the fight for ages. And I press continue. Oh no. Oh no, this isn't going well. This isn't going well at all. I promise I've been practicing for a couple of weeks now. Oh, I forgot to equip those commands. So that death at the end there was my fault, but the fact that I got Invisilated 3 times in a row is incredibly unlucky. Unlucky? What is wrong with me? I'm starting to lose my mind. If this was an attempt, like a run going for world record or something like that, I would have immediately reset and started again. But this is a marathon. I can't do that. I don't have the time. So I'm gonna have to make up that time later on, but it's fine. I can still come well and truly within my estimate. I expected things like this to go wrong. Yeah, easily. I mean, if I die too many more times, I might not be able to beat estimate, but I still can. Yeah, let's hope we don't get any more Invisilazers, and let's hope that I don't get really unlucky in general. And yeah, I am really sorry about that last death. I don't remember the last time I've seen that late into the fight. I usually kill him much before then, so I wasn't really too sure what I was supposed to be doing, where I was supposed to be. But I've got a fresh start on him now. I've got a good feeling.
Gather. Thunder. Thunder. Fire. Gather. Thunder. Thunder.
Got Invisilated again. My god, 4 in a row. That's insane. I don't have words.
Gather.
Yeah, okay, I should be able to easily kill it this time. He's taken a lot more damage than last time, so I'm not gonna end up in that same situation of I don't know what happens this late into the fight.
Heal. Gather. Thunder. Thunder. Freeze. Fire.
Alright, so here he is going to die. Finally beat Trinity Armor. It's not even that hard of a fight, I just have trouble with it for no reason. I don't know what it is. Once we get to the later fights that are actually hard, I'm gonna first try all of them, you watch. So now we have Braig after some movement and menus. Braig is another fight that I really don't like, but this one is less random. He doesn't have any invisible attacks or party members that, depending on how much damage your party members do, determines how well the fight's gonna go. So, in fact, the rest of the run is entirely in my control, so that's good. Oh, except for one part, but I'll come to that when I get to it. So, Blackout. Ooh, I already have an Ignite? Nice. So that's really lucky. The fact that I already have an Ignite means I only need to buy one. Which saves me 600. I also need a Magnera. Forgot to meld. So here I'm going to get Renewal Block. What Renewal Block does is basically whenever you block something, you get healed for it, depending on how much damage the block was going to do. Or how much damage you would have received had you not blocked, I should say. In critical mode, especially in level 1, it's incredibly useful, because most attacks will come close to, if not one hit kill you, especially later on. So that means that because the attacks were going to do that much damage, you get full healed whenever you block. On beginner, it heals you for next to nothing, so it's not so useful. So now we are going to meet our good friend Ignite. Ignite is a damage over time ability, and it does a set amount of damage regardless of your level, your stats, whatever. What it is determined by is how much maximum health your target has. So, because of this, it's incredibly useful for bosses at level 1. This one is one of those bosses. Basically, I'm going to guard his attacks back at him and spam ignites, and that's the fight.
Fire! 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 Come on! Fire!
So there I jumped over that attack and ignited. The reason for that is because guarding it is inconsistent. Quite simply.
Fire!
Okay, I'm gonna get the M finish. This was a literal perfect fight. I'm glad at least something's gone right in this run so far. Now we're getting into the later part of the run, the part that's actually difficult, the part that I'm good at. I believe in me too. I don't believe in Astrius, though.
I don't believe in me either, so it's fine.
So here we have what a lot of people lovingly refer to as Kingdom Carts, I believe, which is also a game for the DS, I'm pretty sure. But people call this mini-game that as well. I don't really know, but all I know is it's basically Mario Kart, except shit. It's a mini game that I have to do. I don't have a choice in the matter. All I'm going to be doing is going around corners quickly. as much as I can and taking the shortcut and stuff like that. One thing to note, though, is that the AI do rubber band to speed up and catch up to wherever you are, but they stop rubber banding and slow down to what their speed cap should be in the final lap. So if it looks like they're getting close to me and they might beat me, don't worry, because in the final lap they'll slow down a lot, and I'll be able to win the race quite easily. Other than that, there's not really too much to mention. If you've got any donations or want to plug anything, go right ahead. You have about 2 minutes, so... No donations still. I'm disappointed. Yeah, these people are great. Come on, Twitch. You're getting outdone by a bunch of crowd members at PAX. What are you doing?
Hopefully there's no feedback. There's no feedback. I can talk. You guys are listening.
Why would I say you guys?
I think it's feedback. You can turn the gain down on there and just put
See ya.
And now with some less gain, that's probably help out. You guys are watching the Australian Speedrun Marathon at PAX Australia. We have a fantastic presentation of Kingdom Hearts for you. Death by Sleep, I believe it is?
Yes, that is correct.
Death by Sleep.
Well, birth by sleep.
Birth by
rather.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Death, birth, same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
We've met our donation incentive, but we still are taking physical donations. We still have a very close race over here on your right, my left. I keep saying my left. On the left of that board over there, we have a very speedily drawn Sora drawn by one of our runners. It was a speed drawn done quick. On the right, we have a drawing done by the amazing Ash, who is taking a photo of all of you. Unfortunately, the drawing is not as amazing, but you guys can only be the ones that decide. You have to vote with your wallets, though. All the money goes towards Child's Play, PAX's charity of choice, helping sick kids be entertained and improving their quality of life, helping kids that have been through abuse and improving their quality of life too. So all the money goes to Child's Play, and we do take physical donations. Thank you very much for watching the stream, guys. We all appreciate it. You don't understand.
Yeah, just for clarification, the donation incentive isn't actually my incentive. It is for another Kingdom Hearts run a bit later on today. Definitely check that out. It's an incredible run. He is going to be fighting, I believe, 13 of the hardest bosses in the entire Kingdom Hearts series back to back on a timer. So it's an incredible thing to watch. It's an amazing run. And then after that, since the incentive was met, he will be fighting another incredibly difficult boss. So I strongly suggest everyone stick around to catch that. It's the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Data Org RTA, I believe it is.
Is he playing who you're playing as now?
Yeah, he's fighting Terra. That was the incentive. So yeah, he'll actually be fighting the character I'm playing as. Ooh, spoilers. That's the donation incentive. There is a fight in Kingdom Hearts 2 FM called Lingering Will. And we'll see Lingering Will later in this run.
Gather. Thunder. Gather. Thunder. Gather. Gather. Thunder. Thunder. Gather. Take that. Gather. Thunder. Fire.
Okay, what's still alive? Oh, it's a flood, of course. It's always a flood.
Gather.
So those particular type of unversed can go under the ground and avoid you, similar to Shadows, I believe. The base Heartless in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. And it can be really annoying in a speedrun. So, coming up we have the last out of my control thing that can kill me in the run. After that, everything is my fault. So we have 10 rounds first, I guess, and the 10 rounds are just 10 waves of unversed that you have to kill on a timer, and it's really easy, really lenient, whatever. But the 10th round is really easy to die to, and it's completely random whether or not it's going to happen, more or less. So I have to watch my back, as it were. So waves 1 through 9 are just going to be the same thing you've been seeing for every unversed fight so far. Magnet, Thunder, Magnet, Thunder. But wave 10, I guess I'll talk about it when I'm coming up to it, but basically there are specific type of enemies called jellyfish or jelly shades that are particularly irritating if they decide to do the wrong thing.
Gather. Thunder. Thunder. Gather. Thunder. Thunder. Gather. Thunder. Take that. Yeah. Gather. Thunder. Thunder.
Ooh, a Binding Strike drop. That's really good. That sells for a lot.
Gather. Gather. Thunder. Thunder.
Bounding Crystal, not bad. That's an incredibly low drop rate. Completely useless to me in this run, though.
Thunder. Thunder.
Alright, 2 more rounds.
Gather. Gather. Thunder. Thunder.
Ooh, 2 strike raids as well. Nice. Getting lots of money drops. That's good.
Gather. Thunder. Thunder.
So, here is round 10 coming up. Basically, these jellies can charge at me and kill me at the start, and I have no chance to react to it.
Gather.
Kind of like that, except lots of them all at once, and before I even get the first slide off. I got unlucky there, but I didn't get terribly unlucky, so I can salvage it and still kill them all. I didn't die. Could have gone a lot worse. Yeah, yay for good luck. Or not bad luck, I guess. So, here we have Zack 1 and 2. The first properly difficult... Well, Zack 2 is the first properly difficult boss in this run. Zack 1, I'm just going to be running away from him and spamming ignites because I'm scared and I don't want him to hit me. Zack 2, I need to do a loop on, and it can be very precise at times. So yeah, here I'm going to be running around igniting. On Zack 2, what I'm basically going to be doing is trying to force him into a corner and just getting him to stay in that corner, occasionally use the same specific attack on me, and then I will go back to attacking him. More or less the same thing over and over again. And I'm trying to explain it a little bit now, because it's a pretty focus-intensive fight, and so I'm not really going to want to talk during the fight itself. And I'm also on no health, so that's great. Because I got hit like a dummy. Yeah, I really can't, can I? Oh no, I'm dead. It was one of those circumstances where he used an attack after the point of no return, like I was already unable to react, so... This boss is usually easy, but there are specific things he can do that are really hard to react to, and that was one of them. I shouldn't die to him again. If I'm any sort of decent, I will not. There was the same thing again, but this time I had enough health to not die.
You can't escape. Come on. You can't escape. Fire! 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 Come on.
Alright, we should be fine here.
You can't escape.
Okay.
Fire! Come on. Fire!
Okay, I got Zach 1.
Can't escape.
Now for the fight that's actually difficult. I'm gonna try and loop him in the corner, like I said. This kind of comes down to a hair in some situations. So I'll either get it by the skin of my teeth or not. I really need to focus though, so...
You're done. Fire!
Okay, I should have it.
You can't escape.
Okay, I've got it. So this is gonna happen over and over and over again. So the fight is completely free from here. There is almost no way it could go wrong.
You can't escape.
So the reason I need to keep him in the corner is, for starters, it makes my combos faster if he's against a wall, but also because he cannot use the move that he used at the start from the corner, so he'll keep using the dive attack you see him use. No way! I was one chip under damage. Oh, that hurts. I must have whiffed a hit somewhere. Oh, that's painful. Alright, it's fine. I'll get him this time.
It's over. Fire!
Oh no.
Come on.
Got lucky. Alright, he's in the corner now, so this time I should have it. Oh no, okay. He got out of the corner again. Alright, should have it. So I know I'm under damaged here because I whipped a hit from that first finisher. So I'm gonna slightly change up the strategy to try to compensate. Okay, I'm a chip under damage again. I should have been looking at the health last time, and I would have noticed. You cannot finish a boss fight with a damage over time spell or damage from a party member, but you can finish with any attack of your own, as long as it's not a damage over time spell. Yeah, that first fight, I was literally one single chip of health under damaged from what I should be. So I have no idea how that happened. But I can actually still hit estimate, judging by the timer. So... yeah, focus time. I've got to bring out all the hard yards and pull out all the stops and stuff like that. So this is a mini game. I mash X, all of the jelly shades die. That's pretty much it. There we go, mini game done. Oh yeah, really difficult. So here we have more adverse fights. Again, Magnet Thunder, Magnet Thunder, Magnet Thunder. Same old, same old. We like to keep things consistent here in Kingdom Hearts. The unfortunate thing about this game is that there are some commands that are just blatantly more useful than other commands. So you end up having a bit of a bias in what commands you use for things. There's not too much variety, I guess.
Gather! Thunder! Gather! Thunder! Thunder! Gather! Gather!
Now we make our way to Experiment 221, lovingly referred to as Sparky or Pikachu, depending on who you talk to. Sparky is another case of dodge attacks and spam ignites, except this time I'm under a lot less threat of dying than I was with Zack, because he has nothing that he can do that can one-hit me, and it's a lot easier for me to get back my health if I do take damage. So, we're in a much safer position than we were in Olympus Coliseum, and I need to remember where I'm going. Oh yeah, another thing to mention, surges in this game can be used to break terrain and break platforming a little bit. You can target something above you and use anything to gain height, but surges in particular, you can go flying upwards to a degree. And then especially one specific surge command that you get in Cinderella's D-Link is a lot more potent at it than other things, I guess. So basically you're gonna see me fly to the top of this room is what I'm trying to say. Usually you have to activate a terminal and it will kind of weaken gravity a lot for that room. So some of the blocks will start floating and you can jump really high, but it takes time and there's a little animation and we just kind of don't want to have to deal with all that. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have the option. So, Experiment 221. Gotta put a stop to him.
Fire!
Ooh, I might get the loop here.
Fire!
If I'm lucky. So, if I get really, really lucky here, I can effectively loop him for the whole fight and prevent a certain part of the fight from happening. But he just broke out of it, so oh well. It was worth mentioning. So that phase of the fight is called guns, or the gun phase, I guess. Basically, he's going to go into the guns on the side of the room, and they're going to shoot at me, and I can't damage the boss until he gets out of them. And I also need to, you know, not get hit by the guns, but that's the easy part. The hard part is the fact that it loses time, and it upsets me. I don't like losing time. Going slow is bad. So that's gun phase. It is possible to skip that, it's just really unlikely and random.
Fire! Fire! Let's go.
And that's Sparky done. So the reason I use Flame Salvo at the end there is because Ignite is a damage over time ability, and as I mentioned earlier in a response to Astrius's question, you cannot finish a boss fight with a damage over time ability. So we have the last world in the run, and then we have 4 boss fights, 4 incredibly difficult boss fights. But to start off with, this world, Neverland, has a forced fight with Unversed. That is probably the hardest forced Unversed fight in the game, but only because there are specific enemies that I call the effing monkeys, but are actually called Wild Bruisers, I believe. They're these big monkey things and they don't get caught in Magnet, so I can't just, you know, Magnet Thunder them. I have to actually play smart and be a little more cautious around them. So they'll be spawning in the later waves of this fight. And I'm going to be mostly using Ignites to take care of them.
Gather! Thunder! Gather! Thunder! Gather!
There we go, there's the first monkey.
Thunder!
Hopefully you can see why I called them that. I'm not just insane.
Thunder!
I need to kill that bird. There we go. So what I just did there actually is something called Ignite Glitch. Basically, if you switch targets as you cast Ignite, the damage over time ability on something, it will hit both targets.
Fire!
This isn't going as well as I would like it to, but it should be fine. Okay, we're fine now. One of them is really easy to deal with because they get hit staggered, so as long as I keep hitting him, he can't hit me. It's the fact that there are 3 of them out at once that makes it problematic. So after some menuing, we will have Peter Pan. Peter Pan's a really difficult boss fight, everyone. I would get on the edge of your seats because it's about to get crazy up in here. I'm joking, by the way. He's not difficult. Okay, Quick Blitz, Strike Raid, Binding Strike, Thundaras, Zero Gravera. Jeez, I have a lot of things to sell at the moment. Oh yeah, we need to hype up Peter Pan. Because Peter Pan is such a difficult fight. So Peter Pan being difficult is actually kind of a big joke between the Kingdom Hearts community or whatever. Like everyone says, oh, be careful, hope you don't have to reset to Peter Pan, stuff like that. This fight is incredibly easy. I was just joking around. Basically, I'm going to be igniting and looping him in a corner, and he can't do anything about it. That's not even a strict loop. I just have to keep hitting him, and he will not be able to move. And if he does break out, he will fly to the other end of the room, and I can just run away from him and ignite spam anyway. So the loop saves time, but it's not like it's what makes the fight easy. The fight was easy to begin with. The loop just makes it faster. Yeah, we've got to put him in his place in the corner at the back of the room over there. There we go, that's Peter Pan. Yeah, there we go. I wish that was the hardest boss fight. So I guess the game knew Peter Pan was easy because technically speaking, that's not even the boss of the world. The boss of the world is some jellyfish that I'm about to kill. Because usually when you beat the boss of a world, you leave the world immediately after beating said boss, like it teleports you to the world map. But not in Peter Pan's case. Instead, we get teleported to the world map by beating these jelly shades. And beating these jelly shades is required in order to finish the world and unlock the rest of the game. So this is really the boss of Neverland, technically speaking.
Gather.
And to be honest, it's not much more difficult than Peter Pan.
Gather. Gather. Gather.
So now we have four of the hardest boss fights in this game, back to back. The final one being the hardest story boss fight, and I would say the third hardest boss fight in the entire game. But they're all very challenging in their own different ways, and hopefully, thanks to my practice, I will first try all of them and give them a good show, because this is the part of the run that I really actually enjoy. And on top of that, I think if I die many more times, the run may have to be mercy killed.
Too many mercy kills. Let's save the runs.
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm planning to save the run. All right. Blizzara Pulsing, Magnera, Wellspring. Alright, I would have loved to take all of the surges I had there, but I have to play it safe. I'll take 2 cures. I'll be a good boy. So here we have Master Ericus. Basically, the story is that Ericus is mad at you because your character, Terra, has some, like, inner dark powers, and he did something to piss you off. Because you got pissed off, those dark powers started showing themselves, and he's like, hey, dark powers are bad. I'm gonna kill you. Something like that. He's a pretty bad teacher, to be honest, trying to kill his students, but, you know, Kingdom Hearts storyline, who really knows anymore? Yeah, because of that story aspect, I am forced into the Dark Impulse command style, which means I cannot use D-Links or other command styles, and it makes the fight just a lot more annoying than it has to be. So really all I have, like the only option I have to punish him or whatever, or deal damage, is Surges. So now we're really gonna see why I love Surges so much. Surges are great.
Let's go. Let the darkness die.
So here I'm gonna reflect his attack back at him, hopefully. Yep. And that's just because my Surges were recharging at the start. It's all about reacting to what he does and making sure you stay above 1 health. Because I just got a second chance once more, and what they basically mean is if I get hit from above 1 health to what would kill me, I go to 1 health. So there is above 1 health and not above 1 health. Those are kind of the two categories for how much health I can have. Because everything is mostly one-hitting me at the moment, with a few small exceptions. Okay, he's using his CM. Oh, double DM, lovely.
You're done. Say goodbye. Prepare yourself.
Okay, Ericus is down. That's 1. 3 more. So there's going to be 1 more menu, and then I go into the final 3 fights of the game. The first one is somewhat out of my control because of the strategy I'm choosing to use. The main reason I want to use this strategy is because I want to show how broken level 1 can be if you have the tools to abuse it. Terra only has the tools and opportunity to abuse level 1 properly in this one fight coming up. Every other fight, he is unable to do so, whereas the other characters can abuse level 1 properly throughout pretty much the entire game, which is one of the reasons that Terra is the weakest character. But, all things according to plan, I will at least show off how broken level 1 is when you use it correctly in this next fight. So these tornadoes, they gradually speed up until they catch up to you, but if you get a different tornado chasing after you, it will stop the one currently chasing you, resetting the speed to the minimum speed, I guess. So the idea is you want to go past every single tornado in the room, and every time it will reset their speed. Because if you get caught in the tornadoes, then you have to do an unversed fight that takes a really, really long time and is really difficult, and you don't even really get anything out of it. So here we go. I'm about to hopefully make the game look really broken, if everything works. And I think it's one of those things that it's better for you to see it first and I'll explain it later. So, keep your eyes peeled. I forgot how many cutscene skips there were there. That was the last one though.
Too slow.
Unlucky. That could mess with things. Yeah. That was really unlucky. I'm gonna try again though, because this fight is really fast, so... Usually that strat goes relatively well, but things like that can happen that I just have no opportunity to react to. I went into the wrong D-Link, okay. So... I don't really have a choice but to do this strat either because of the way I've set up my command deck. So now I kind of just have to die because I messed up something pretty crucial. Which is unfortunate, but we can still salvage this. I'll get it this time. Third time's the charm, right?
Too slow. Too slow.
No, don't do that.
Too slow.
Stop teleporting to me, Xehanort, please. This is incredibly unlucky for this to be happening. That's pretty much the only attack he can do that I have no chance to react to. I should get it this time. Are you serious? Right at the end, I was almost there. I needed to hit Vanitas 2 more times and I would have had it. Oh, jeez. I can do it. I have to show off the swag and I don't have a choice because I've set myself up to do this strat. Yeah, they must know what I'm about to do. Okay, I got it. Okay, please stop doing that.
Let's go.
There we go. So basically, the way level 1 works is there is a minimum amount of damage that any command style finisher can do per hit. So finishers like that hit a lot of times just do a ridiculously large amount of damage. And Terra doesn't have many opportunities to abuse that. Like on this boss, that particular move I just used doesn't work because he will teleport away before it hits. As an example. And that strat that I just did is incredibly difficult as well, by the way, so I'm quite glad that I got it. Teleporting a lot today, aren't we, Xehanort? Yeah, so basically how this fight works is he will teleport away if he gets knocked into the air, which is why that attack that I used on the previous boss doesn't work. Because the first hit will knock him into the air, he'll teleport away, and then the stuff that actually does the damage will just completely miss. Really, dude? Okay, I need to revert and heal. That's unfortunate. Okay. Alright, one more boss to go. This is hands down the hardest story fight in the entire game. All three characters, including Final and Secret Story. This is a hard fight, so I need to focus intensely. Basically, I'm trying to damage him with surges and abuse the invulnerability frames I get from surges to not get hit, and also reflect some of his attacks back at him. Beyond that, I can't really explain much because it's more of a feeling thing, and I really need to focus, so... So if he's sliding around like that, it's slow, just as a note. Stop. Stop. So here, I need to either iframe tank this attack or stand in a corner and block. Looks like I get to iframe tank it. No! I pressed the wrong command. That's gonna put me over estimate. If I die one more time, I'm gonna call it, but I should get it. Yeah, I need to not take my time. That was a really silly mistake.
You have lost! Yield!
There we go.
You have lost!
Yeah, I know. Okay. Partially, I think. Tank this. Okay. He's about to go into phase 3. Yep. Okay, he's in phase 3. I should have it from here. There was nothing I could do about that. I got 2 large meteors. Should I?
There we go. Sorry. We are 25 minutes behind schedule.
Well, I'm really sorry about that, but it looks like my run's getting mercy killed because we're behind schedule. I got really unlucky on the final fight there. Usually I'm good at that fight, but it wasn't my day.
Now go do that thing you have to do.